What's up, everybody? Welcome to my Vinegar Syndrome recommendations video, where obviously I'm going to recommend movies from Vinegar Syndrome. And most of these should still be in stock, but there might be some of them that you have to track down on eBay, Macari, or one of those aftermarket sort of sites. But I have 11 movies, 12 if you count one of them being a double feature, to go over with you guys today. And because of the high number that I'm recommending, I'm not going to go in detail on these. I'm not going to review them. This isn't going to be anything like that. But I did want to do it like this through the webcam so that I can pull up the Vinegar Syndrome website just to see if it is in stock and check on the pricing or the numbers for you guys as you watch. But obviously, if you're watching this in the future, things might have changed. And also, if you watch my Vinegar Syndrome collection video, there's a lot of movies in there that are probably great that I just haven't gotten around to watching yet. So if you watch that video and wonder why I haven't covered it here, that's probably why. But please feel free to leave your recommendations for Vinegar Syndrome titles down in the comments below. Also, before we begin, I want to note that I'm not going to talk about the Forgotten Jali movies from the Forgotten Jali sets, because I actually plan on doing a future series where I go through each one of those box sets and talk about them individually. But there is one on this list that I couldn't pass up because it's probably my absolute favorite Jali that I've seen, or Giallo, that I've seen so far. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this, and I'll try to keep it short and sweet. So hopefully some of these movies you may not have heard of, and you can go check it out. But my first recommendation is Double Exposure. And now on the website, unfortunately, it is sold out. Even the standard edition is sold out. So probably not the best way to start for you guys. But this should be one that's easy to track down on eBay or Macari or wherever you want to go look. And it was one of the first Vinegar Syndrome titles I ever bought. And I really just bought it because I'm into photography, and the title alone kind of had me interested. And cameras do play a vital part in the movie. But yeah, this is a great slasher movie if you've never checked it out yet. Next up, we have Specters, double feature with Maya. Man, both of these movies are awesome. Unlike most double features where one of the movies is kind of the stronger draw and better movie, I feel like these are pretty equal when it comes to quality. So both of these movies center around Mayan ancient sort of artifacts or locations, and people die. Both of these movies are great, and honestly, you get two for the price of one, and you can't really beat that. And it looks like there's plenty left on here as well as of the recording of this video. Next up is Rush Week. Now this is one that you guys have probably all heard of before. If you're in the Vinegar Syndrome circles or physical media space in general, you probably know about this one already, but this is a great slasher that takes place on a college campus during Rush Week, and people start dying. You'll notice that's kind of a theme with a lot of these movies I'm recommending. A lot of people die. As of this recording, there's 838 left in stock of the standard edition, so hell yeah. Next up is kind of another notorious one that you guys have probably heard of if you're in the circles, and that's Blades. Yeah, the movie about a killer lawnmower at a golf course. And it is so funny how just like the manager, owner guy of the golf course just refuses to call off the tournament, even though literally people and even kids at one point are getting killed by literally a presumably self-driving lawnmower. And it's also well known for kind of being a Jaws sort of remake, but in place of the shark, obviously, it is a lawnmower at a golf course. And honestly, like, it's stupid, but it's fun, and I love it. And you can still get the slipcover, even though, as of this recording, there's only 148 left, so you better jump on it if you want that slip. But it's definitely a movie I would say is worth watching. Now, my next recommendation is Divinity. Now, if you liked The Substance with Demi Moore from last year, I can't recommend this enough. Now, some people might say it's not quite as strong of a film, and it's definitely a more independent movie than The Substance, but Divinity is really great. It's also produced by Steven Soderbergh. I love Steven Soderbergh, so that was very interesting. And man, look at this art. Like, this shit's crazy. It's one of those that's like a slipcover inside of the of the case, and that's the art you're seeing on the screen right now. But I honestly don't know why more people are not talking about this. It's a relatively new movie too, and there's still over 1,200 in stock as of this recording. So go grab it if you can, because the movie's great and the artwork is really amazing. Next up, from the cinematograph blah, 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 blah line, whatever the hell you call it, is Red Rock West. Now, I do know for a fact that this version is sold out with the cool packaging, but great movie. But you should be able to still get the standard edition. Nope, that's even sold out. Okay, so this one's going to have to be on the aftermarket. But this is an amazing movie that stars Nicolas Cage, Lara Flynn Boyle, and Dennis Hopper. So basically, Nicolas Cage gets mistaken for a hitman, gets paid the money by the guy who wants the hit out on his wife, but he can't get out of town quick enough before Dennis Hopper, the actual hitman, comes into town and figures out what the hell's going on, and he wants his money. This is definitely a movie that's worth tracking down. I apologize for some of these being out of stock, but they're my favorites, and I didn't know how to do this video without talking about them. And that leads me to my next one that's also out of stock and no longer exists on their website at all, and that is Devil Rider, which is from the sub-label Culture Shock. Yeah, that's what it is. I thought it was that. I just wanted to make sure. So Culture Shock is no longer a sub-label for Vinegar Syndrome, so it's not even on the website. But last I checked on eBay and various other websites, you can still find this out there, and it's not very expensive. But this is a great movie that's sort of like a Western slasher, and like you don't really get very many of those, where like there's this ghost story of this old cowboy guy that comes and kills people and stuff. I can't remember the exact story that goes along with the killer, but there's like group of people that are city folk trying to figure out if they want to buy some land or some property or something out in the country, start to kind of run into some trouble from a little bit of a cowboy ghost guy. But anyway, it's really great, and I highly recommend Devil Rider. My next recommendation to switch things up from killing and more killing is Squaring the Circle, which is a documentary that's about the photographer guy's company called Hypnosis, but it's with a G. I can't remember how you say it. I can't remember the guy's name. Let me read this. So it's about celebrated photographer, creative director, and filmmaker Anton Corbingens. I don't know how you say his name, but he's basically the guy who did all the album artwork, or at least most of it, for Pink Floyd and a whole bunch of other really famous bands. And you get a lot of really great stories from him about working with these famous bands. You also get interviews with some of the band members, and it's a very interesting documentary that I actually watched before I bought it. I believe on Hulu or Amazon, one of those two. But if you're into art at all, hell, if you're a fan of Pink Floyd, because that's like the main band that they seem to focus on, I think you'll love it. So if you're looking for an interesting documentary to watch, check it out, because there's only $1.99 left for the slipcover. I don't know if I did this for the other ones, but there's always more with the standard edition, so always double check that. Next up is an erotic thriller, and that is Sliver. Man, I love this artwork so much, and I also love this movie so much. Seems like everybody but me has already heard of this movie before, but it is a great, like, weird-ass fucking erotic thriller with William Baldwin and Sharon Stone, and there's a lot of fucking and sex and sexiness. Honestly, I'll admit, I'm not too familiar with Sharon Stone. I know. I still haven't watched whatever that movie's called where she, like, spreads her legs and shows her beaver. I still haven't watched that, but that's next on my list. Basic Instinct, is that what it's called? But this movie kind of is what made me want to go watch that. But as you can see, there is over 2,000 in stock as of this recording, and that is for the awesome limited edition, which has incredible artwork. It's one of those that has a slipcover inside of a fucking box. It seems like a waste of paper to me, but it is kind of cool, and the artwork's amazing. But there's this whole mystery element about who killed the tenant that lived in the apartment before Sharon Stone, because Sharon Stone looks exactly like the woman who lived there before. I don't know. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to ruin it, but I could go on and on about this one. And I believe it has the uncut version on this release as well. We're almost there, folks. So as I mentioned in the intro, I wasn't going to talk about the Jolly sets, but I had to talk about one of the films from Volume 4, and that is Arabella Black Angel. Man, this movie is sexy, it's raunchy, it is crazy, and it's actually in stock. There's 710 left as of this recording. I thought this one was sold out, but I guess not. But this movie is essentially about this husband and wife. The husband is in a wheelchair. They got married. She was giving him a blowjob in their convertible right after getting married, and they were driving off to their honeymoon, and he gets distracted by the blowjob and goes head on into a fucking truck, and it paralyzes him from the waist down. So he's in a wheelchair now. You can't make this shit. I mean, you can because it's in the movie, but like, who the fuck comes up with this shit? And anyway, like, I don't know if he fully can't pleasure his wife, but his wife is hot as fuck. And she's got urges, man, that I assume he can't fulfill. I'm still not sure, after watching it a couple times, if he's okay with her going and sleeping with other men, because it kind of seems like he's urging her to, or that he at least knows about it. I don't know, it was kind of confusing, but she goes on all these like sex adventures in like weird places and weird like sex fucking like castle things. I don't know, it's not really a castle, but sex house places. But then slowly some of the men that she sleeps with start dying afterwards, brutally. And let's just say their manhood is stripped away from them, and you get a very graphic look at one of them. So it may not be for everybody, especially if you don't like gore. But most of these movies I've recommended have gore, so I don't know what to tell you. But this is a crazy batshit fucking movie, man. I'm really glad it's still in stock. And last but not least, we've got... Wait, I already did that one. And last but not least, we've got The Keep. Now, everybody knows about this because it sold out really, really quickly on their website. Even though they still have a few copies left as of recording this, of the standard edition. So do not sleep on this. This is a Michael Mann film, which is honestly pretty incredible. The guy that did Heat did this fucking movie. Now, honestly, the artwork alone is amazing. But before I bought it, I heard a lot of people kind of saying negative things about the movie itself that I wholeheartedly disagree with. I think the movie is great. Yes, there are some moments where it feels like there are some missing pieces that should be there. Like the first time this guy and this woman meet, they instantly start like making out and having sex and shit, and it's like, what the fuck? What are we missing here? Do they know each other? Because they're supposed to be strangers, but really that's about it. There's a couple other small instances like that, but the movie is still great. It's basically about this keep, whatever the hell that is. It's basically like this big stone wall fortress sort of thing, place, and there's like some sort of mystery surrounding it, like people keep disappearing or dying or something, and the Nazis are like investigating it, and then they send in, is it Ian McKellen? Yeah, it is Ian McKellen. So the Nazis bring in Ian McKellen from a Jewish concentration camp during World War II to kind of like, I can't remember why the fuck they bring him in. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I loved the movie. I thought it was great and definitely worth having on your shelf. Don't listen to the haters on this one, guys. Even though there's no director's cut, if you're holding out for that, you might die unhappy. I don't know exactly if that's going to happen based on what I've heard. But apparently this is like the best release this movie, I mean, obviously it's the best it's ever had, but apparently the DVD of this movie was pretty shitty. I don't think it ever got a Blu-ray. And after watching the 4K, I can say it looks great. Tangerine Dream also did the score, which is amazing. Yeah, this is definitely one that was not overhyped, in my opinion. But again, with all of these, make up your own mind. Definitely watch the trailers and find out if you think that you're going to like it before you buy it. Also, remember that Vinegar Syndrome does a lot of sales, so wait for the sales and you can probably get most of these for cheap. Again, I apologize for some of these being out of stock. I didn't really check ahead of time. I just wanted to do a recommendations video talking about my favorite Vinegar Syndrome movies. And so that's what we did here today. So again, leave your favorite Vinegar Syndrome titles down in the comments below so that I can have more movies to check out and watch, as well as anyone reading the comments, obviously. But I hope you guys found some movies that maybe you hadn't heard of or hadn't thought much about buying. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.